Hello again. Oh my god, it's so glorious outside. I just had to run an errand. Somebody took me to go run an errand, and the colors out there this fall. The two trees in front of my apartment, right there by where the playground and the sidewalks are, right on the edge of where you pull in. The colors are astounding. They were just stunning. Here, let me see if you can. Look at that. Oh, when the when the morning sun, early morning sun, is coming over it, and when the late afternoon sun, there's one of my little squirrels that you see eating on my windowsill. But they are just wow. You see how gorgeous they are. There are some beautiful fall colors right now in Jersey. Taking advantage of them because poof, literally, and they're gone. Can we talk about something? Just before I did my errand, I was thinking about. I have seen so many people. Now, I've seen this over the years. I've heard and I've read people saying, oh, I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 60, I've never voted type of thing. And what I have been seeing is people saying, I'm 30, I'm 42, I'm 60 something, whatever it is. And I've never voted before. This is the first time I voted, and I early voted for Harris Walls, or I'm going to vote this year and I'm going to vote for Harris Walls. That brings me mixed emotions, to be honest with you. And I say that because my first reaction is the first thing he said, the first part of the sentence. And don't be mad at me. Just relax. I'm not gonna shame you, okay? No matter how much I want to say, you've never voted. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, okay? Because even though every election is important, this one is more important. And the reason it's more important is it literally can change the entire country. And that is not hyperbole, that is not exaggeration, that is not doing a scare reading to you. God, I wish it was. I honestly wish it was. But it's not. And that gives me no joy and no pleasure to say. Normally, I would be shaming you. And I know that sounds terrible. It sounds awful. But I would be like, how could you? It's not really shaming. And I am going to ask. I really hope if you've never voted in your life and you've been eligible to vote. Now, it's one thing if you've never voted in your life and you're not eligible. Well, then there's a reason why you haven't voted. But people that are eligible and haven't voted, I'm just very curious. Do you complain about high prices, or how the government doesn't do anything, or they shouldn't have these programs, or they should have more programs, or what the hell is my school doing and I don't want those books banned, or I want more books banned, whatever it is? Have you complained about any of those things? Because if you have and you've never voted, you really don't have much of a right to complain or accuse. If it's the Democrats, say the Democrat that are in, if the Democrats have the White House saying those damn Democrats fuck it all up, or if the Republicans are in, you're like, those damn Republicans, that one just sucks. We should have gotten the other Republican. If you do that and you've never voted, why do you think you're entitled to do that? That's what voting's for. You know that, right? It's to decide who we want to be in positions, and who we put in is their ideas too. It's not like, well, I like that guy because he's a nice guy, but I like her ideas better, but I like his personality better, so I'm going to I want him in there and to do her stuff. It doesn't work that way. That's what voting's for, okay? You vote. If you don't vote, you don't get to complain about anything like that has to do with things that politicians, I don't want to say control, but handle, If you don't vote for any person to do that, that means you just don't care. And if you don't care, then you have no right to complain. You haven't done anything. The one thing that is in your power, you neglected to bother using. So why are you upset if you don't vote? So that's the amount of shaming I'm going to do. Because this election is seriously important. And you understand that we have elections more than once every 4 years for the president, right? Because pretty much any place in America probably has an election most years. If it's not a presidential for the country election, it might be your state representatives for the federal House or Senate. It could also be your state's government, those positions of senator in the Senate, in the House, and your state government. So you have state House representatives and House and senators, and then you have federal senators and federal House representatives also from your state, but in the federal houses. You also have school boards in local, that's state, you've got the country, you've got the state, now you've got the locals. Locals are mayors, governor, that kind of thing. School boards, sometimes judges. I mean, there's all kinds of different, positions. And in state, I was looking at something on the playground, like, what was that? And those don't all roll around at the same time. I mean, Georgia's federal senator has a different time than Connecticut's federal senator's time thing. So there's usually an election, either federal or state or local elections, most years. If you have kids or had kids that are in school and they're out of school and you've never voted, I don't understand how you can even complain about the schools or what is banned or what isn't banned or what person is on the boards and what they're instilling and what is allowed and all of that crap. If you never voted, then that's almost like saying I don't care. Just do whatever you do and just whatever. And if that isn't how you feel and you do care, then why haven't you voted? I really want to know. I mean, at this point, this is not even like a humiliation or anything like that. I genuinely want to know, if you care about all those things, then why haven't you voted ever? Because who I am, I can't understand not liking something, really not liking something, and never saying anything about it, and letting your children be governed by something that you don't agree with, and not even saying anything. I don't understand how you make that choice of just not. I do get not standing up for yourself sometimes, because when you have like a low self-esteem, which I used to very much have, um you you would speak up for somebody else in a heartbeat that's not being treated properly or being abusively treated a lot faster than you'll speak up for yourself, which is why I don't understand if it's your kids or something like that suffering, or your niece or your aunt, and you know that if you voted, you could help vote somebody in that could change it for that person. How could you just not do something that you can do that is free to do and it would help them? And so, if anybody really wants to answer that question, if you really have never voted before, or this is the first year you're voting, why haven't you ever voted? I'm just really curious. And if you haven't ever voted, do you complain and bitch and moan about the things that the rest of us do? And if so, why? If you're not willing to do anything to help change it. And I'm not picking on you, and I'm not shaming. I genuinely would like to know how that reasoning goes. Because the way my head works, it doesn't make sense to me. But maybe you can explain it how it makes sense to you. At any rate, if you've never voted before, and this is, you either voted early or you're voting for the first time for Harris Walz, thank you. Welcome to the party. Be it your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, coming late to the party. Not the best performance, but at least you got here. And you're helping now. So, thank you. And that's not a pat and a kick. That's a cookie, but maybe not necessarily a pat on the head. Because let's see you vote every year now that there's elections. Let's see that, and then you can get the pat on the head too. If you don't ever intend on voting and you don't give a damn, I'm just curious why you still here. I mean, why? I'm just really curious why you don't want that. Obviously, some people want the government to run their lives. And I guess that might be easier, but it's not better. It's definitely not better. Individuality goes out the window, doesn't it? Bye-bye. So I'm not shaming. I'm not clucking my tongue at you. But I am asking, I'm beseeching you to please keep voting. I don't mean keep voting in the same election, because that would be illegal. But every time there's elections where you are, vote them. You know, this race should not be so close. It shouldn't even be somewhat close at this point, 13 days from the election day. And I'm not concerned, but it's not that it concerns me, but it does disturb me. Um, because it looks like half the country believes one thing and half the country believes the other thing. But I know from being informed that it's more like 75% of the people at least do not agree with MAGA. But a lot of them don't vote. They are eligible to vote, but they don't. You can see how, what if all the people that may have probably voted to keep America as an American democracy, if they had actually voted, it wouldn't be so much of a difference. I do know that so far the early polling for the states that have already started early voting, the amount of women coming out has existentially gotten huger. The amount of women so far turning out to early vote, they say, is eclipsing the past. So, let's go, ladies. You got it. Keep going. Thank you. If you've never voted before, but you voted this time, or you're going to vote on election day, thank you. Welcome to America. Welcome. Now, try doing your part every year. Because if all of us did that, I bet you'd see a lot different America. And I'm not talking towards the MAGA way. I'm talking to where we should have been. We should have been. We had a little side trail. We took a side trip, and yeah, it's not anything for the tourist books. Trust me. The last several years, that side trip in American democracy was, yeah, it's really not that great of a attraction. Let's put it that way. I think we'd rather get on the Route 66 again and just keep on with the American democracy progression, because we ain't going back. No going back. Sorry, Vance. Sorry, Trumps. It doesn't look good for them. I'm not making any calls. Like I said, it's from the last I looked last night. It's way closer than it should be, and that is a little disturbing. Like I said, it's not disturbing because there's more people like that than I thought. It's disturbing because there's less people that don't want that don't vote. That's disturbing. Because that tells me if they had been voting all along, Trump may never have even gotten in to begin with. Imagine where America would be if we didn't have the last 8 years of battling him and MAGA, the creation of MAGA. Imagine where we could have been. But, again, no going back. Just forward. And that's forward with the red, white, and blue. Not with the red and black and white. We're not going there. Even Germans don't like that part of their history. Even German folks are disgusted with that part. And to see America going, any Americans going that way, I am sure they're just horror struck watching all of this the last 8 years. Don't be one of the countries, don't let this country be one of the countries like Nazi or some of the others that some are still doing it, that just never learn from their shit, from their past. Okay? We've had a brush with white supremacist stuff. We've had a very close one. Way too close. We're done with that. We're done with those friends and those new acquaintances, and we can send them on their way out of the country or to shut up. Because American democracy is worth it. And I'm still fighting for it. I hope you are too. Have a wonderful day. It is so lovely out there. Peace out. Vote. And thanks for voting. I'll be there. I'm working the elections. 15-hour day. Be nice to us. Be nice to your workers. Don't wear the crap that you're not supposed to wear. Don't make our lives harder. Polls open at 6 in the morning. They close at 8 at night. We have to be there at 5 in the morning to set everything up and get signs and stuff and machines ready. Count shit. And be ready. All smiles for you when you show up at 6 in the morning, those of you. Then, after they close at 8, we have to count, we have to verify. That's going to take at least an hour, sometimes longer if you have to do it more than once. That's a long day. Let's see you work and keep mental acuity strong from 6 in the morning till about 9:30, 10 at night. It's a long day. So don't make our days harder by coming in and acting like you're some official person when you're not, or trying to brand your own, or trying to tell us some crap or other that's not true. Just don't, okay? Just give us a chance to get through election day without our brain exploding, okay? It's a long day for election workers. It is a long day. A longer day with dealing with a subject matter that most people don't want to do, because we're always needing election workers. That's why there's so many older people, because people don't want to do it because it's hard. The work itself, there's a lot of remembering, there's being on for 14 hours while they're open, while the polls are open. You be on that long, and then to be able to think clearly and not be cranky. Okay? We can't pee whenever we want to unless somebody's free to take our spot real quick. We can't go eat, we can't do anything. Also, I don't know if you're aware of it, but election workers, you're not allowed to be scrolling on your phone. You can't bring any reading material, no magazines, no books, no music. The only thing your phone you can use is if there's a quick necessary phone call or something. You can't talk about anything that's politics, or politics that will turn to politics, like abortion or any of that, the border, any of that shit, because it's going to become a political discussion. None of that is allowed to be done by the workers. You spend 15, 16 hours without any of that. It's not an easy job. It takes a lot, and it's probably what you get paid for. Some people wouldn't do it for that price, okay? Because it is a lot, and it takes you a day or so to recoup from it as you get older. So do me a favor. Try not to make our lives and our day harder. Really, come on. If you're not willing to do that service, that job, don't make it hard for the others who are, okay? We're trying to do our duty like doing a jury duty thing, you know? And it's a civic responsibility, and not enough people are willing to do it. So those of us who are, Give us a break, okay? Don't come in being Karen or Kevin and just, demands and yelling. And don't do any shit. And don't wear any of that party shit, or no donkeys, no elephants, no hair things with it, no shoelaces, no fingernails painted with elephants and donkeys. I don't want to see it. None of that's allowed at the whole place. And you should have something posted there. It's illegal. It's not just a pain in the ass for the people that work there. A lot of noise out there, ladders. It's not just a pain in the ass. It's illegal. And if you sass the person and want to resist taking it off or changing or whatever, they can call the police because of that. Okay? Don't make things harder for everybody. Just don't. Give us a break. We're just trying to get an election done. Same thing with census takers. You don't have to be rude to them when they come around if they happen to talk to you. They're trying to do a job that you weren't obviously willing to do. So why make it hard for them? Okay? Just do me a solid and just be nice to your poll workers, okay? Give us a break, man. We got a long day, and thousands of people to deal with on that long day, okay? We don't need more hardship. We already have gone to 3.5-hour class before the 15-hour day. Cut us some slack. Peace out. Have a lovely day, my little weirdos.